Does this look familiar to you? Bro, easy sight take, dude. 5v1, plant the bomb. There's no way we lose this round, bro. Yo, guys, watch out. Don't overput.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Yeah, let's fix that. Here are the keys to closing out your T rounds. So yeah, if you're not winning after planting the bomb, that's referred to the post-plant portion of the round. And there's usually 5 aspects to why you're losing it. And I'm gonna list them in an order of most important to least important, but it's not really least important. Like, they're all equally valid. It's just that some are more effective than others. The first, and I would say most important reason you are losing your post-plant situations is due to a lack of map control. Map control is one of the most important aspects in winning the post-plant and surviving the retake because of the following 4 reasons in itself. So coming up for the first reason of importance of map control is it forces CTs into choke points rather than giving them more positions to peek you from. The best example of this being shown is here on Ancient B site. If you are a T and you only take site, now the CTs are able to take all of back lane, left lane, and right lane. And this just makes you have to worry about more angles for whatever position you're holding. Let's say you're playing the pillar area. Now you have to worry about both right lane and left lane. But instead, you take the initiative and you go and push right lane, and then you get back lane control. Now, in order for the CTs to retake from this area, they have to come through this singular choke point right here. That is literally impossible to deal with as a CT. Like, you win the round. In certain maps and certain sites, getting more map control creates choke points to prevent a retake. And then in other maps, there's other benefits to it. Now, for the next example of why map control is important in the post-plant situation is over an A site Mirage, all right? Not all areas of map control create choke points, but some reduce the angles you're able to get peeked from. So we'll take CT as an example. If you take ticket control, you still have to worry about CT. If you don't take ticket, you still have to worry about ticket. So it still has the angle there. It doesn't reduce 2 angles into 1, but it reduces the areas you can get peeked from simultaneously. So if you're playing sites, you have someone triple, and you don't have ticket control, you can get peeked from ticket, jungle, and stairs. But if you're playing someone triple, and you have ticket control, you can't get peeked from ticket. You can only get peeked from jungle and stairs, but you still have to worry about CT, if that makes sense. CT is not gone. There's not a choke point where you can eliminate where they can come from, but you just eliminate the angles you get peeked from simultaneously. And so now for our third example of why post-plant map control is important, we're gonna be taking B site on Inferno. Sometimes the site is too small to hold just the site and defend from. And B site Inferno is perfect for this, dude. If you just have site as a T, you are gonna lose the retake 9 times out of 10. You can sit what? First orange, second new box, and dark. And these you can't really fully hide from. All it takes is 2 mollies to flush out basically every angle you're able to hide at as a T. So taking more map control, let's say church as an example, gives you more positions to play to not get flushed out from. Another example of this would be A site does too. You can't just play A site by itself. You're gonna get fucked from either cat or long. You need A site and cat or A site and long. Similar to Inferno, you need B site and church or B site and car. There's too many positions to get flushed out from and too many exposed spots to play at. So you need more map control to play more positions. And so now for the 4th reason of taking map control during a post-plant situation, we're still here over on Inferno B site, is to create a crossfire on specific paths that CTs take to retake the site. So if you take car control on an Inferno and you have someone pull, you have just created a crossfire on CT spawn. If these guys want to retake, they're gonna have to smoke off banana. This basically accomplishes 2 things on the list of the 4 I just gave you. It creates crossfires and it gives you more positions to play so you don't get flushed out from CT retake you to. So now, an exception to the rule I just gave you about map control, there are some sites where you do not need map control for effective post plant. B site does too is a perfect example. This is a bitch to retake. Even if you have full utility as a CT, this shit sucks retaking. Like 1, 2, and 3 spots. Like, you don't really need tunnels to have an effective post plant B site. It helps, but it's not necessary. Some sites on certain maps do not need extra map control in order for you to hold them effectively. You do not need extra map control if you have the utility to keep the CT smoked off long enough, okay? If you have 5 smokes, you don't need to risk retaking or pursuing more map control and aggressing into the CTs to hold them off. You can just smoke them off literally for the whole post plant. As long as you do it right though. This is my biggest pet peeve when I see post plants. You are better off smoking off one area entirely for the whole post plant than smoking off both areas for the first 15 seconds. This is because as soon as the CT sees a smoke, the retake is basically already on pause. The post plant bomb only lasts for 40 seconds and smokes last for 18. So if you only have 2 smokes available and you throw Coffin and CT at the same time early round, they're going to wait regardless. If there was just a CT smoke, the Coffin smoke is just overkill, and this only delays 18 out of the 40 seconds in the post plant. Instead, you can stack your smokes one after the other and cut off one choke point for virtually the whole entire post plant. 18 plus 18 is 36, 36 out of 40 seconds, pretty much the whole fucking thing. So now another exception to that rule I just gave you about map control is the number advantage. And this kind of supersedes any map, any site, any meta. If it's a 5v2, you don't need to take a chance of aggressing into them to get more map control. If you guys just all hold and just trade out, you have the strongest post plant possible. Don't take the risk of trying to get more map control. Think it's going to benefit you. You are already in a very advantageous situation. Just stay where you are and hold and trade out and you win the round. But even if you have the numbers advantage, you need to assess if you have the correct firepower to secure the round. It could be a 5v3 in your favor, but if you guys are all Glocks, good fucking luck, man. You guys are losing that retake.
Fucking idiots, kill someone.
So there are ways to make up for this lack of firepower. One, we go back to map control. We can go back to aggressing, or we can get to my final point, which is having a lurk. So before you even think about calling a lurk, you need to know this one thing first. If you are not able to take the site without the lurk there with you, don't call a lurk. For whatever reason, if you're low on numbers, utility, firepower, and you need everyone there to take the site, that lurk is going to be useless. If you are not able to take the site without the lurk there, then the lurk is pointless because you didn't even get the site down in the first place. Listen up real quick. There is a very fine line between lurking and baiting, all right? Do not be that guy. Fuck you. Fuck you if you're that guy. All right, back to the video. The lurk only becomes effective once you get into that post plant situation, and the lurk will make up for the lack of map control, firepower, numbers, utility, etc. Whatever it is, he will flank their retake. This is like the ultimate fuck you to the retake. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you. Bye.